It's a Friday. Do you know where your Star Trek fans are at? It's another episode of Anytime with Ken and Alden. I'm Ken, that's Alden.
Live long and prosper. I am Alden. Hello. Oh, yeah, a lot of people can't do this, and I'm glad to be one of the people that can. I can't imagine not having this, but...
Yeah. Hi, everybody. For the audio listeners, Alden and I were making obscene hen gestures. And if you're one of the audio listeners of Anytime, let us know. Leave a comment on the show and say, I listen, and don't see your faces. Hi, buddy. How are you doing? That is a rigged question.
It is a little bit of a rigged question. I'm what they call in the business, okay. And that is the,
yeah.
And that is, off air, a little behind the scenes magic. Ken was like, are you okay? Like, because I was saying I've been all over the place and everything, and I was like, oh yeah, like my all over the place isn't like I'm spiraling, I'm doing irresponsible things. I'm still in my house. I'm still like listening to like Mark Maron. I'm still playing Ghost of Tsushima. It's just the headspace that I was in when I did it. I was just like, nothing matters. War and starvation run rampant. It's easy to float out into nihilism these days, and then you have to like reel yourself back in.
I fear you, where it's like, look, my vices are staying home, bombing out and playing games, and it's like that's good up to 1 a.m. The problem is when it's like 3 a.m. and I'm worried that you're at the 3 a.m. state. And that's all. As a friend, I just want to know. But you said don't worry, and I'm not going to worry.
I'm at the 4 a.m. stage. I played Ghost of Tsushima until 4 a.m. Went to bed around 5. Woke up at I poo you not. I didn't want to say it during the first however many minutes. I texted Ken at 1:35. And we go live at 2 Eastern. I texted Ken before my mother, before my family. I texted Ken first today because he's my favorite. And that was the second that I woke up. So I have been awake for 25 minutes.
Have you had breakfast? Now I'm concerned again. Your Uncle Ken is concerned.
Made a big cup of coffee though.
Okay, that's fair. A little afternoon coffee. Is there a 7-Eleven, a Pilot's, a Munchies, or a Bucky's, or a Chips, or whatever you got out there that you can go get like a Danish? Like we'll just keep the show going if you can walk a block.
We have a Wawa right down the road from my house now, which I am pro Wawa, and I say that. Now we're going to have people in the chat immediately like, no, Wawa sucks. You should go to Sheets. That's my impression of Jared. And then we're going to have the Texans are going to be
people. Those Yinzers.
You should go to Buc-ee's. You should go to Buc-ee's. Yep. Although I do hear it's great.
I've driven past one. It looked wonderful. By the way, I'll step foot in all of these. You give me the chance, I'll step foot in all of these.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't have allegiance to a convenience gas station brands. I know obviously if they were all on one street, you would probably pick the 7-Eleven just because of the history that you share, with that institution.
I was there this morning. I got up early, had to mail a package, and went over there and got myself a coffee, a Danish, and a pack of baseball cards. Man, what a life I'm living, Alden.
Man, going to the 7-Eleven, getting a little sweet and some baseball cards. What year is it? This is fantastic.
See, I just want to live the life I dreamed for myself when I was 14. And I truly think I am, other than the money. Well, actually, I'm making just as much money as I did when I'm 14.
As you did when you were 14. I love the idea of like, that's so funny to think about that, because I think I was similar of like being 14 and being like, man, when I'm grown up, I'm going to be able to add so many comics to my pull list. Like, I'm going to have a job. I'm going to be able to read all of the comics.
Sorry. Whoa, shite. I had my light just. Oh my God, what is happening? Look, you see this? Look at this. I have a ghost in my own house here. What's going on? My light died, so I just plugged it back in, and woo. Okay. You know what? Tully's right. Tully's right. Tully sometimes just really gets to the heart of the matter, like a Don Henley, Patty Smyth song. Circle K doesn't get the respect it's due. It's a little guy. Yeah, I don't, I can't remember last time I've seen a Circle K. But yeah, they're kind of, quite frankly, they're the Del Taco to the world's Taco Bell, and I respect that.
Interesting. But you are a Del Taco loyalist. So in that way,
I am.
Like you're supporting, I don't want to say the rebels to the empire, because I feel like the rebels would eat Taco Bell.
Calm down with your 7-Eleven Holdings empire phrase. If there was a Circle K nearby, I would stroll on into one and give it a shot.
Okay, I like that. I saw that you made some waves on Instagram this week, posting a clip from the Blathering where you addressed, as you have before, this isn't a new opinion from you, but you re-upped on thinking that In-N-Out is a little bit overrated. And I saw that, some of our friends, the Black Series Rebels boys, got dragged in the comments. People were very heated. It was called propaganda.
I have never been more mad at Alex and Steve, and that includes their horrible Star Wars takes. Like I have never like this In-N-Out love has got to stop. I'm not here for In-N-Out hate. Alden, today, if you were here in town and you were like, let's go. In fact, I'll send someone to get us some In-N-Out. You want to eat it? I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
Sure. You are
so funny.
Balance in the In-N-Out discourse.
I'm for, kind of like with some of my discussion points and even the complicated world of politics. If sometimes I want to be like, hey, pull back. Let's get to let's not even nuance it. Let's just have some common sense to this discussion about burgers. But what's funny is we could post a clip of what's going on in Palestine. It might get some clicks. You post a clip where you're like, I don't like In-N-Out. The world shows up, and I don't know if that's where our priorities are wrong. It's kind of a small sample size of the world, but it's been a tough one.
I think those are both true. It's so funny that you were like, I approach In-N-Out discussion the same way I approach it. My first thought was assault rifles, and you did kind of phrase it that way. You're like, I support a common sense In-N-Out policy. I support common sense legislation and In-N-Out buybacks.
In-N-Out buybacks. Oh, that'd be great. I'd run on that. And you know what? Unlike what's her name, Elise Slotkin, I'd make my vote. I'd make my vote.
You're not going on Colbert to talk about what you theoretically would do.
Yeah, go vote. David McKay puts this grown man, by the way. So I've been doing a full TikTok push with my sports card ASMR channel, right? Because it's a time to make some money off this shit. And so one of my videos, I'm not going to say it went viral. It just did some very good numbers compared to the other videos, and that brings a lot of different people into your life in the comment section, right? There at least 5 of them. I've removed a lot of them. Have come in with that grown man, by the way. It's like some new bot attack. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed. And,
I'm familiar with that language as being younger on the internet, of like people just like to remind you of that. What are we still doing, like you're too old for this type stuff? That's something that that happened. Like that was like the boomers raising Gen X. And then the language of that just like never went away. Like, you need to put that away. You're a grown ass man. And it's what are you talking about?
It's just funny.
It's just funny.
No,
the bots have been out in out in full force over this past week.
Well, I saw
there's like that bot attack that's like going after Pedro Pascal.
Oh,
following that at all?
For a whole, I've been following just the surface level of his holding hands because of anxiety. So let's burn him to the ground. Wherever it's coming from, it's stupid. But and I saw a report today. I know most of us aren't on X, formerly known as Twitter. That like 75% of the activity is now bots. Like it's just not functional. No surprise. That's scary. That's scary stuff. Clankers, as Cameron Stewart says.
Clankers going mainstream has made me very happy. That Clankers, as for those of you who don't know, the word invented by I guess I want to say George Lucas, but like we'd have to go to the writing credits of the first time that it was said, probably in the Clone Wars film. Regardless. Someone could fact check me on that. Eli, go into your like little Lobot ass database and figure it out. who the first person to say clanker was.
Clankers.
And it has, slowly moved out of the Star Wars sphere just into internet discourse about AI. And now, like, when you call, like, to pay your credit card bill and, like, it's a robot voice, people are like, oh, got a clanker on the other end. I am so happy that there's a slur for these things.
Okay. I will say, though, I'm already morally compromised. I ordered something on Amazon. I have a mic problem. So sometimes you might hear, I don't know if you guys hear it in the live show. I actually kind of need this research. I had to get some new XLR cables because I was clipping out a lot of things, including Anytime, and there was these annoying pops. So I was like, I'm first going to go to the XLR cables, and they weren't delivered to my house, and I had to go on Amazon and I spoke completely to a robot, and I got it. Unfortunately, it was the most smooth experience ever. It took 2 seconds, and I got. And then guess what happened the next day? I found out that I did have the thing I ordered, and someone just put it in my backyard for some weird, almost creepy reason.
Okay.
But yeah, so. Easy on the clankers.
Easy on them.
I got free XLR cables. Yeah.
Ken's naming his XLR cables Mr. Bones. He's gonna have one good clanker up to the side. All right. So now
where are we going?
Jared's out here in, like, the part of the internet that I don't hang out in, the, like, TikTok ass part of, like, there is now discourse about if it's ethical or not to use. Man, I'm here to tell you right now, it's ethical. I don't care I don't want to hear the other side. It's fine.
You can punch nerds. You can do that, right? You can punch them.
Yeah, but can I, as a nerd, punch them?
Yeah. It's even more. It's even more.
Inner nerd fights. Well, I had said to you a few weeks ago, this infamous bar incident that keeps coming up with you, that you were at a bar. I got to a Star Wars argument. I was like, man, Ken, if I had been there, I would have been like, pop, 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 pop. I would have just been debating everybody. But, like, it sounds really intense, but it would have just been me sitting and yelling.
But here's the thing. Sometimes I wish either you, with if I needed a little spice behind it, or sometimes Scrimshaw with some reserved eloquence. I want both of you there sometimes. I'm not good as a debater. As you can tell even here, like, I go to what I did on the old job. I'll run at your neck, pull you to the ground, and then my knees go places. That's all. That's the only way I can solve problems. You have a gift of gab. You have a gift of a recall of 59 valid points. Joseph has that as well. Could you guys just go to bars with me?
I would love to. I will be accelerating in my mind my plan to move, just so you and I can hit the bar circuit and win arguments about Phantom Menace. Which, like, this isn't a Star Wars show, but just, like, it always comes up. I was thinking about Phantom Menace the other day because I saw some meme that, like, had, like, it was very dated. It had, like, a Jar Jar punchline. And I'm just going to say here, if you're still hating on Phantom Menace in 2025, I really hope that you don't vote, like, in our elections. I think there's, like obviously there's a correlation of, like, the right wing and fandom and, like, all that. And we've all talked about that a lot. But I mean, specifically, like, there's something that has emerged to me, and it goes beyond Star Wars, but there are, like, takes that we all accepted are the takes, right? Across pop culture. Like, we all just accepted that that's bad. We all just accepted that Crystal Skull is bad. We all just accepted that every other Star Trek movie is bad and the even ones are good. Like, there are those things that you just hear. And I'm here to tell you, if you subscribe to any of these without being able to back them up on your own, that says a lot about your life. That's groupthink. It's really weird. I rewatched Search for Spock this week, and that is often put into it's one of the bad ones because Wrath of Khan is so good, and that's the second Star Trek movie. And Wrath of Khan, I watched them both this week, and I'm here to tell you, Search for Spock is better than Wrath of Khan. I would say by a significant amount.
I don't. That could be inflammatory, or it could be a low key, well respected take. I don't know. I saw Search for Spock in the theaters. I just remember being freaked out, but I liked it.
That's reasonable.
I do love what Dave McKay has named our. This is going to be the tour we're going to go on. Trawling bars for Star Wars fights and Hyam sisters. That's what we're going to do. That
might be a little long, but we could get it on a poster. If it was written in crawl font, like this yellow font straight down.
This, by the way, is going to be one of those anytime episodes that goes wherever it needs to go because Alden just woke up and that's where we're at. I had a amazing stand-up show last night, so I was just buzzing till like 3 a.m. Could not get to sleep, so my brain's fried too. But yeah, so Star Trek takes, hot takes, food takes. The only thing I did want to talk about, Alden,
Yes.
is are you excited for the potential return? Executive orders technically don't mean much. They're just neat little things for grandpa to hold up. But the return of the presidential fitness test. Are you excited about this?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm
No?
a chubby kid. I'm a chubby kid now. I was a chubby kid then. Everybody knows, like, you can't be a little fat boy, like, reading your, like, Scholastic book catalog, looking at a picture of General Grievous, like, being like, oh, I can't wait for Revenge of the Sith, and then they're like, come do pull-ups. That's trauma. That's awful. I have trauma associated with this test. And these people.
I still can't really do pull-ups. And I think it might be a little bit of the trauma because it was one thing. I love physical activity. I'm going to work out this afternoon. I suggest all of you work out. NFL play 60. Get outside, kids. But it is the trauma aspect. Alden, you're 100% right. I had to do pull-ups in front of my entire class. Shelly had to watch me fail to do a pull-up. Do you know how hard that was to take as a sixth grader? Yeah.
What do you think she's doing now?
I know she went full mega. I dodged that bullet.
Oh, you went down this road. You already figured out.
Oh, she was one of the biggest crushes of my life in 6th grade when she moved to the school. And then we went to separate junior highs. And then in 9th grade, she became a cheerleader and we didn't talk anymore. You know that thing where 6th grade, we talked, we were friendly. And I was like, ooh, I don't know what I'm feeling in my heart, but I like this. And then 9th grade, cheerleader wouldn't talk to me. And then, she's still in the hometown, full on, like, fist with the bloody ear, like, kind of mega profile picture.
Wow.
Person. Woo!
Wow. Girl, you were a cheerleader. You don't need to be a part of that. Oh, my God. You were probably, like, cool and nice and, like, pretty at a time. And now your heart is shriveled up. You're cheering for pedophile. That's gross.
Adam's here. You should all check out Adam's newsletter there. I enjoy reading that, especially the conspiracy stuff. Popping pizza. I'm here ready for the V-sit challenge. Let's do it. We should get Adam on to talk things. So all aside, I mean, look, I believe you can exercise, get out there, do it. I am one of those fools, but it is just so bizarre, and to watch. What's his name? I forget one guy. Then Harrison Butker, one of the biggest assholes in the NFL, and then Trips. Which is no surprise because it's a family business now. But I'm conflicted. This leads into the other thing I want to talk about today, Alden. In spite of myself, I started watching WWE Unreal. And I love it. I really love it. I think it's really good. And I've seen the reports of some of it is faked and everything. Yeah, of course, it's a documentary series. They're gonna have, hey, can we get a shot of this? Like, do I think Charlotte Flair is that loved in the locker room? No, I don't. I totally get it. And I've always been a fan and a defender of Paul Levesque for a lot of his knowledge of the business. I've always kind of thought if he was ever in charge, we'd have some better stuff going on in the Fed. But now it's not even conflict all the time. I'm watching it. I'm in this spot of like I don't even know how to process any of this anymore. To watch him up there spitting water at a White House press conference.
Did he do the water spit at the conference?
That's what I saw. Yeah, I thought I saw that.
Oh my God, I didn't see footage of it. And so it's like to address both of those. So the first thing is that we're not surprised, like we're not expressing like shock and we're not guffawing. He's literally been in the White House before with Vince, without him. He's been
his mom-in-law's on the team.
Mom-in-law's on the team. He's been ringside with him at like UFC and things like that. Like we know that this is what he is. It's that they are pushing this series, which we'll discuss. They're always doing media, and they did a media push after their last Saudi trip, but before this WWE Unreal stuff, where they had Cody Rhodes, who's like one of their main mouthpieces because he's one of their main talents, out there explaining in this like BS, just corporatized way of like, well, we are an apolitical company. We have no leaning. We go where the audience is, and like hitting all the things you have to say. And it's like, but you're not. You're just. It is. You could have said that during really any other era, and like that would have you would have probably gotten away with it. Cena, I'm sure, has said other lines like that throughout my life.
It's the Michael. You probably heard it. I know you're not a sports fan as much as I, but like Ordo. But Michael Jordan famously saying Republicans buy sneakers too. Like that's exactly the mindset of decades of pop culture.
Exactly. And it is like that to a degree. And they've shown their cards, they've stepped in it here and there. But it has never been more egregious than it is now. And like to have them there, in the White House with these people that are being accused of what they're being accused of because they're guilty. And the RFK too, him and Stephanie with RFK a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And it's like, you guys, like you had like I start to like almost like clutch my pearls and get like offended at a business that I know is just so black of heart sometimes. Like it's just like, this is the wrestling business. Like I don't have to tell you that. Like they're not going to feel bad about certain things that like normal people feel bad about. Like the fact that they, like, a great example is like when this is not an original thought, I saw people talking about it, but like when they posed with RFK, it's like, you guys like just had Bray Wyatt die because of some of the stuff this guy is out there denying. And you guys want to do your like Bray Wyatt tributes and like still make money off of his characters and designs and talk about how much you care about the family and everything. But then you're going to be like, here's our anti-vax, anti-COVID, anti-everything pal over here that wants to like make America healthy again. Like you guys are, it's beyond just like Carney's going to Carney. And it's like, you guys are like, it maybe not as bad as the patriarch of your family, but you are just as broken from reality.
It's weird. And I don't watch wrestling at all regularly anymore. And I've talked to some friends about it. Like, I was, as a lot of people know, I was in the wrestling business from 2001, 2014, in and out of it, around a lot of these folks and everything. A lot of them who were in that show and producers and talent and backstage interviewers. And like, I'm not surprised by a lot of this, right? But it's changed now because I like what you said there. It is this like, you apolitical, we know doesn't exist. It might not have ever existed if we're really being honest, but this came up with the Leno stuff this week too. And I want to be I want to be very clear. I have to be very careful. I sometimes open for him at Flappers. He's there all the time. I have many conversations with him. That's my regular club. So I'm going to say this with the greatest salt. I have to be careful. But his mindset of, don't cut off half your audience. And then you got the John Oliver clip of here's all the jokes he did, because people didn't view that as political, right? Yeah. That's what the frustrating thing is. For 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, that was just jokes. It's just jokes, folks. That's what you do in the news. And now we have the unfortunate benefit of looking at that going, that was horribly political and horribly irresponsible. But the mindset still exists of, what are you talking about? I'm just going to the White House to promote push-ups. That's not political. And that's where the frustration lies for me. If any of that makes sense, Alden.
No, it does. It's because it's almost like we make an excuse of ignorance for people that should know better by virtue of their age, by virtue of their status, and because of the people are the way they are, and because again in wrestling it's simple to be like Carney is gonna Carney, but like beyond that, these businessmen, these people with like storied careers like Leno, like Triple H, very different men, but like just like how it becomes baffling to even think like, okay, I can give you maybe the grace of you thinking that, but how have you not realized it yet? Like the fact that a lot of people, that nobody for years had ever had the discussion with Jay or had held him to account for, like, he didn't just like make Monica jokes. He made more Monica Lewinsky jokes than anyone by a lot, by a huge margin. He was like the number one. That was like the whole Clinton controversy was his bread and butter. And the fact that he doesn't see it that way, if he still doesn't, is just like, what are you talking about, man? It's a cast to show up now and do the, here's my commentary on what you guys should be doing. It's like, dude, if you're not going to talk about the actual issue, then like, why are you piping up at all? And that's a Jay side note that's unique to that story. I'm just like, he didn't say things to my knowledge this week about, the state of broadcast journalism. He didn't say anything about potential censorship. He didn't say anything about the actual Colbert situation. He just came in and was like responding to people responding. He was basically
Yeah,
trying to be
yeah.
dad to all the hosts
Yes,
right now
yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah,
moment. And it's like,
yeah.
well, pal, I guess I'm glad that you're not one of
Yeah.
them right now. Because like, what would your response be? You would just be
Yeah.
like, well, Commander got canceled. And like that, like he would just do a normal thing. Like it's it's weird. But when it comes to the WWE stuff, for those of you that don't know, we mentioned Unreal. They're doing this reality series now. I guess it all dropped as a binge, like it's all out, or they're releasing
I think
it.
so. Yeah, I'm only like 3 episodes in. I think 4,
Gotcha.
maybe. I don't know. Yeah, 3 in. Yeah. But yeah.
So it's a reality TV series about the creative process. So you get to see the WWE writers' room, a little bit of corporate, some backstage, how matches are booked, producerial things, and it is, you know, a lot of like purists, especially of a certain age, are how dare they're destroying the business. But it's like I was talking about it with Ken off air. I was like, there was no business to be destroyed really for our age group. But
Yeah.
that is being presented, and like there's a layer of fiction even on that, like we mentioned. But it's just like it just makes it so hard to support because of some of the stuff that's going on. And it's just it's like I can accept, like I watch AEW and like Chris Jericho's in that company. Like I have no illusions about who he is, you know, and who his wife is and things. But that layer of removal from reality has always been there with wrestling. And with WWE, they are not just dropping it, but they've made it aggressively like impossible to ignore it. Like I was trying to explain this to a friend recently, our buddy Michael, about like how I feel about WWE. And I was like, WWE right now feels like if everything had happened with Gina Carano and then Mandalorian season 3 came out and she was just in it, and like Favreau was just like, well, you know, different opinions on things,
Right.
And we all just had to deal with it. WWE is like that every week with like 10 of her.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I agree. I like
like
that.
You like imagine Force Center if it had even survived that, you know, imagine it going on and covering that every week and it just being there. That's how it feels to talk about WWE.
Yeah, no, that puts me in a weird headspace because I'm also like anytime I'm in a comedy green room, I'm with 10 comics and 4 of them I might not absolutely endorse as a human, you know, and it's just you kind of have to go on and like you said, deal with it. So I think there's some truth to that, but it just that's absolutely right. Because I if that had happened right now in this, I don't know if she's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's God, you threw me for a loop for that one. But that's exactly the feeling of watching it.
It's just odd. Like I didn't know how to explain it. It was after the Roman Reigns saying that he's that he voted for Trump because he wants things better for whatever. Because he's dumb. Honestly, is what it is. Because the part of the frustration with Trump too, as I've said before, and that's in you know, people that support it in our art, in our entertainment, whatever, in our own families, is that it has exposed like a level of dissonance that I didn't think was possible, where people act like Trump 1 didn't happen. Like they have no memory of it.
Right.
Like even the stuff now that's happening with like Epstein and all that, for whatever it's gonna do, if anything at all, probably nothing. It's just like they react in this like the people that are breaking from him, you know, the podcast moron sphere,
right.
The, you know, the people that want to create the next grift like Tucker or Marjorie Taylor Greene, that are starting to distance and change their positions on some stuff. They all are reacting with this like, this is not what he campaigned on. This is the promise broken. This is not what I thought was gonna. And it's like, I'm sorry, did he have the reputation of being a promise keeper? Like, did he make good on a single thing that he said he was going to do the first time? Yeah. Did he just did whatever, betrayed everybody the first time, kept campaigning for another 4 years, then lost, and then kept campaigning again, and then like I just don't understand the mentality that that's on display of like I'm shocked by this, really, because I'm not shocked by this,
right?
Like, you know, it's like people don't have a memory longer than that of like a goldfish nowadays. And like when Rosie O'Donnell and him got into their spat a couple weeks ago, and he's like threatening her citizenship, I'm like, there was a shocking amount of people that were not at all mentioning that they had a public feud already. Like the public feud
years ago,
a public feud so big it got on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
they turned it into story. Like
that's
it's
so
just
right.
like we keep doing this
Oh,
circle
boy.
of like, well,
Yeah.
will this be the moment that he rises to the no, we did this
No.
already. This
We
is not
did
the
it. We
first
did the
one.
dance. Yeah.
It's weird. The
Yeah.
whole thing is weird, and I think that's what like has been exhausting
Mhm.
this week is that you just get that
Yeah.
feeling of like being in a time loop, like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. And when you're in the thick of it, it's a force for the trees thing, and I I've had conversations with friends offline recently of there's this is completely unprecedented, but it's also precedented in terms of a lot of things repeat. And when you're in the middle of it, whether it's the 60s, whether it's 1968, whether it's 1972, 1945, like it's probably hard to get through it. And we're in that. And this is one of those weeks where it's just not even we've done episodes where we're like, we're so overwhelmed for the news, we're disconnecting. I'm not. I didn't disconnect this week. I was trying to keep up with it, and I couldn't keep up with it, and it feels hopeless at times.
Same. I mean, I just looked at my phone to repost the link to this show, and I see just now Hollywood Reporter reporting the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is being shut down because they don't have the federal dollars anymore. So it's just like they're just being inundated. This was also the week that everybody got approval from their managers and agents to talk about Palestine. 22 months in for a lot of these people. It was awesome.
Got clearance.
All these big celebs, like the starvation that is not even starvation, the famine that is happening because they can't use active language. It's like no, it's like they're being starved. Like I had family in our house the other day that were like not debating me on like what's happening. They are not deniers, but they were like, well, how do you solve that? I'm like, but not doing this would be a great start.
Start here. Yeah.
Start by not doing what you're doing.
It does feel like, remember when, every once in a while, all the websites in the world will change their fonts or rounded corners to edged corners and then edged corners. And it seems like this week, the last 2 weeks have been like you said, all right, we're all moving forward on this. We're all changing our font on this big issue.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, again, when it comes to wrap up this part, fitness test, traumatic. PE sucked as a kid. That's my non-original take on PE. Hated it. Felt really stupid. Felt useless. Felt like classic asthma fat kid. Just just wants to fucking read, and I'm being forced into this. And then, but I got them all back in computers class because they didn't know how to do anything. That's where justice was served. And then Triple H, I mean, it's moronic. Like I just don't. It's impossible. I haven't watched WWE outside of a couple like matches, like they posted online or like their clips and things since Mania because they ruined John Cena's last WrestleMania match, and it was bad.
Yeah, that weird thing. I can't wait to get to
that
show.
Everybody knows it's bad.
And
because that's that company. Like they're still after all this time, and that's what pisses me off too about the Triple H of it all. Because you're right, like when you said like, oh, things will probably be better when he's in charge. We all thought that, and then when he was running NXT, this is about to get really wrestling coded for a second. Sorry, guys. When he was running NXT Black and Gold, from like 2013 to 2018, 19, that period, NXT was like not just the hottest thing there. It was the hottest thing in wrestling. Period. Like it was leagues better than Raw and SmackDown. Everyone knew it. And now he's in charge, and it's like we couldn't just have like the nice and now do that for the whole of it, because then it becomes this mega conglomerate TKO with the UFC and Dana White there, and it's just this pissing contest of dudes that you would never leave alone in a room with your wife or daughter, all just trying to chase it's like we're back. We're still in the Vince mentality of be embarrassed that it's this. Like they're embarrassed that it's wrestling. They need they couldn't just do a John Cena farewell tour without it being like a multi-part celebrity tie-in and a Logan Paul tie-in, and all the wrestlers have to go on Impulsive, and they all have to talk to him, and they all have to be it's just they have to be like they do this coded language to show that they care about kids being slaughtered overseas. Getting certain colors on their gear just to try to tell the audience, like, it's just a weird state of affairs that, like, we all thought it was going to get better, and now it's just like, I'm not a conspiracy person that thinks that Vince is like still pulling strings, but it's like he might as well be for the way that things are. He doesn't need to go start his separate thing.
Oh yeah, with or without the mustache. Yeah, I haven't watched regularly for a long time, and I still love it. I've tried AEW. I cannot get into AEW. I just don't think it's great wrestling, but I do. I'm so happy it's there. We need a third one, not Vince's, not Bischoff's.
Yeah,
we need the Anytime Wrestling Federation. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, it's beyond. It will never be the same again, right? It is, like you said, a giant conglomerate. It always had that feeling of the last 25 years, 30 years, but now it is. Now it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah, sorry, Adam. AEW is indie wrestling. Again, I was in indie wrestling for 15 years. It's just indie wrestling to me, and with the bigger budget, and I can't. Tony Storm's great.
Ken doesn't like small wrestlers.
I don't like. I despise small wrestlers.
I'm
kind of full joke. I don't. Yeah. I stood next to Barry Darsow once, and Darsow is the size of a skyscraper, and he was a like mid-sized guy. Like
Ken doesn't have
flipping flops. I don't like.
Ken doesn't have
flops.
fighting spirit. He doesn't have fighting spirit, and
I don't like it.
He doesn't have. He doesn't have strong style.
I don't like the flippity flops, man. There's so many guys in that Fed that I dwarf, and I shouldn't. I've been around some of them.
They're larger than life.
I'm like, Vince, get the Warlord and the Barbarian in there.
Vince out here.
Like, but I want to be clear. I love that AEW exists and is at the level it's at. Like, that's important to me. Like, it is important to me for the business. I support it.
It's important to me, too, because it means I get to watch wrestling, because WWE makes it so hard. They want me to believe that Cody Rhodes is compelling when he's not chasing, and he's just not.
You don't like the white meat? The series would be great.
Cody Rhodes has great Star Wars takes. I'll give him that.
He does. He does.
Cody Rhodes pro Last Jedi, and he's right for that.
Yeah, I do. But I do. In spite of it all, I do. I've been enjoying the series. I did text you. I was like, I don't know if any of you should be allowed to watch this. But like you said, kayfabe died 20 years before people think it died. It died in like the 70s. There's a famous incident. Like the Cow Palace or something. My friend Dan needs to come remind me the history of it. So I'm over that side of it. I'm just because one of my favorite things to watch is Quarterback, which is done by the same team on Netflix, the NFL series. Just absolutely love it. It's just gripping, and it's scratching that itch. So I apologize, Alden. It's scratching an itch.
No, I mean, scratch away. I sometimes get into a wrestling mood, and if it's not AEW, I just like go back and watch like older stuff from when I was ignorant. You try to remember a time of feeling a certain way, try to get back in the headspace. Like it's like with Undertaker stuff. It's like Undertaker's is like a washed up, wobbly old transphobe now, and it's like you have to like aggressively put yourself like in a all right, I didn't know any of that. Where was I at the time? Like you have to like meditate before watching certain things in wrestling now. So I don't blame you for getting your fix however you can.
Will McClade says, I sound like Jim Cornette a little bit without the racism. Thank God. I do listen to Cornette every once in a while, and I go like this.
Jim Cornette.
Yeah. Yeah, he's right. Then Cornette. I go, oh, maybe I shouldn't.
Oh, Jim Cornette.
It's
one of many old carnies in the this company won't give me company won't give me a job until I have to be heel to it. That is the great pattern of former talent, now podcasters. He's like, can I work at that place? It entirely affects the way that I approach my broadcasting about that place.
Yeah.
You know, Bischoff was all pro AEW challenging Vince, and then AEW was like, yeah, we're not going to hire Eric Bischoff. And then he was
became
complete pivot.
That works. Anyways, we went deep into wrestling today. I've acknowledged that I am somewhat old school in some of that, but I think the match quality is way better. Like, you go back and watch a match from 1982. Now I fall asleep halfway through. I like where we're at.
Yeah, the match quality is is very key. It's very
It's way
hard.
better. Way better.
Wrestling's hard to get new friends into. If your friends like, I'm interested in getting into wrestling, it's hard because you don't want to show them any women's stuff before a certain time, not because of talent, but because of how they were treated. And you don't want to show them certain things that like might be viewed as iconic, but then are letdowns. It's like you have to almost review it for yourself. You're like, is that actually good, or do I just remember it being good?
Right.
Is that like some matches, like the famous Steamboat Savage from Mania, is as good as you remember it being. I rewatched that last year, and I was like, oh, this is incredible. Like this match could happen right now. And
I think it was a precursor for the style for where we're at now, where it was, Macho, as people know, like highly meticulous down to his plan into the matches, which is when it works, it works.
Yeah. Dave McKay says, you don't want to show them WWE divas undressed. No, I don't. I don't want to show them the swimsuit and lingerie magazine specials that were released.
Matches.
That I would see sometimes like in a CVS or a Walgreens and be like, can I take a peek at that magazine before anyone notices me taking a peek at that magazine? Those were the days.
Yeah.
Man. That was when you had to work for it.
Yeah. Anyways, there you go. Welcome to Wrestle Anytime Wrestling.
Ken has many times said that I should just do like a wrestling thing. And it's not that I don't think it's a bad idea or don't think it's a good idea. It's just that I don't know what to bring. Because look, I feel this way about Star Wars too. 90% of the podcasting is complete and absolute ass. And like the problem with wrestling podcasting is that it, by and large, there are some good people in the space as well that we know, like Hal and Danielle and Danielle. I used to cross paths with Van Vliet when I was working at iHeart and stuff and everything. He's a nice guy. Yeah. But like, there's just this like they hate the business. It feels that way sometimes, and it does feel that way with Star Wars podcasters too, where it's like, oh, you guys hate it. Like you guys are, they're tearing down talent. They're like, why would you do this? Like that's how a lot of it feels,
Yeah, no. But I know. I think you're right, and I don't think it's no wise insight here. I don't think it's exclusive to those two things. I think it's just the way we kind of function. Like that's why I stopped. I'm a giant sports fan. I stopped listening to sports radio because that's every call was this guy sucks and that's stupid and it's exhausting. I told you before. Like in 2010, I wrote for WrestleZone. I had a weekly column on WrestleZone, and like I tried to be positive, and it didn't work. Yeah. Like it was not. I got no reaction because I was like, you know what? I liked that segment on this one, or I don't think it was a good idea to make fun of Vicky Guerrero's body, and I think Jerry the King Lawler is outdated. It didn't go well. It didn't go well, and it's frustrating. And I feel you on that. There, I feel you on that.
Yeah, it's like that's also just a mentality thing overall about engagement.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an original thought either, but just you see it sometimes. Like, what is your least favorite blank? Like that was going around on Blue Sky the other day. It was like, forget your favorite song. What's your least favorite song? And I was like, this is an asshole prompt. Like, I'm not saying that person sucks, but like, why are we doing this? It's so easy to go down this road. I would actually much rather hear about your favorite song. That takes effort to think about. You have to narrow it down.
Yeah.
It means something to you. It's personal.
Yeah, and I get it from a comedian standpoint too. Like that kind of friction with the world is can be mined for comedy. And I'm not saying I don't go to those places, but overall I feel you on that. But I still think first of all, I'm going to pressure you publicly to launch your new version of your Star Wars podcast again, and I'm going to publicly pressure you until you do. So I don't think you should start anything that would overwhelm your workload. But your takes on wrestling would be interesting.
I think so. And the Star Wars thing is like that's actually going to happen and actually has plans. Wrestling thing, I would need someone I trust, and we need to talk about wrestling. I need to watch more wrestling than I do. I would not cover WWE, so that immediately like nerfs it. Like it's just it becomes a whole thing. And I'm not gonna. And I also feel weird like when white dudes give their takes on like New Japan, where it's like. Like I love watching New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think it's incredible sometimes to see, especially their main event scene. But like, what takes am I going to give when I don't even understand the commentary and the stories like to the same level? So it's just there's that element of it too. But
right. Well, okay. Then just
yeah.
launch your goddamn Star Wars podcast. Uncle Ken's going to pressure you until you do.
Does the Star Wars space miss Alden Diaz? Is that what it is? Do they cry out in the streets for a good interview?
I'm just worried that you're up till 4 a.m. playing ghosts of that thing. I'm just concerned.
Tsushima. Because it's great. Because it's great.
Just concerned.
It's excellent. It's excellent. If you had it, you would stay up the same, I'm sure.
I've wanted to I want to get a game and go. But I'm waiting for Madden. We get the new Madden in 2 weeks, and I'm gonna be lost in football for a little bit. I apologize.
What do you expect of the new Madden? What changes from Madden to Madden? Is it just the roster of guys?
It's little gameplay. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's why sometimes I skip a year. Same with MLB the Show. I'm still playing one that's 5 years old. It's some uniforms, updated uniforms, stuff like that. But I do the franchise mode, so I'm not. My dream is to have every player on the game replaced with a player I created. So sometimes I get into the high 80s of players I create in my franchise mode. So I just need the game. I don't need the players.
Sure, that makes sense. And I know that you have like years of being a manager in
too much
MLB, right? Like they've traded you around, you've been fired.
I've had to stop. Like realistically, my general manager character's like in his 90s. I'm like, this wouldn't happen. I'd be dead.
Yeah, but he could be a congressman. Hey,
all right. Hey, well wishes to Elizabeth Warren, fallen. By the way, I've always said I use Ground News. They're not a sponsor. I actually highly recommend it. I think Ground News is actually really good. That Elizabeth Warren falling. You go to here's the 86 articles on it. It was an amazing test of what headlines, how they play in different arenas.
Really?
One headline has Republicans offer bipartisan help after Elizabeth Warren falls, and it was like 100% sincere headline because it was a right-leaning publication, and it was insane. It was insane to track. Anyways,
this country is just. I mean, this is where we're at, right? Like this is where we're at. Like someone falling, like bipartisan help as she. What is happening? Like you guys are so incapable of being human beings. Incapable of being human beings. I had that thought earlier as a different context, of course, but like I had that thought earlier this week with Hakeem. Like another video of Hakeem shouting in an impassioned way, and then he votes to kill more kids. It's just like, how are we falling for this? How are we falling for this guy? These people out here auditioning to be president. It's like you don't have the juice. You don't have it. Someone needs to have a hard talk with these people like they're their parents. I'll do it. If I need to be the one that does it, I will do it. I'll do it for free. I'll sit down with Hakeem and I will explain to him, you don't have it. You never had it.
The presidential riz.
You don't the riz, the juice, the sauce. You don't have any of these things. No one believes it. Like you were cool for 0.2 seconds. And I'm not talking about your filibuster. I'm talking about when you dated Rosario Dawson. Then you fumbled. And then
was that I thought it was Booker.
Booker.
Oh, you said Jeffries earlier.
Did I say Jeffries? The same.
Yeah.
I'm talking about all the useless guys as one, but specifically Booker because of his filibustering.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But also Hakeem and also Chuck, Slotkin, all these people. Like now, you guys, none of you have it.
Wow. I'm just sending strongly worded letters to the White
House. Newsom does have, in his way, the juice.
He does,
but he doesn't have the integrity to get the people that like. There are those of us that see through the juice because like he did that thing this week of like, well, he was accurate in how he was explaining the baiting of the right and being like, well, they try to get you outraged about these certain things and you can't buy into it and everything. And it's like, but you did buy into it. Right. You give them platforms. You flipped on trans people. It's like you have already fallen for it. You are not the guy.
Yeah, like I said, he's to me, he's almost got too much riz in the sense of like it drips with insincerity.
Yes.
So I'm always going to be on the keep him as a attack dog that infuriates the right people. It just that's you're the enforcer in a hockey team. We don't need you to do anything else. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just do that. And you're gonna step in your dick a lot, but we just go do that thing. That's where I'm at with it. It's a hard balance to strike, Alden.
But that's the thing is that like they say that though, right? Like they love to be like, well, how do we find the right person? How do we reach men? How do we do this? How do we energize the youth? And then someone does it and they're like, well, we don't know them that well. We can't endorse.
I've never heard of them.
I don't know. What are you talking about? Again, it's like they're willing to negotiate with goose-stepping morons, but they won't actually just endorse somebody that can win. It's like I've never seen like such loserdom in my life. And now Kamala is like gonna release a book like behind the scenes of losing.
Great. Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, cool.
This is one thing that I think the Democrats should take from pro wrestling. Okay, Alden, one thing is that when the crowd tells you what's right, you run with it. That's the only thing. One of the other. Maybe there's others, but that's the thing. You know, that's what you see in wrestling a lot of time. Suddenly this person is over. We didn't plan for it, but the crowd has spoken. That's Mamdani. Run with it. Run with it. Put the strap on him. Put the rocket on him. Take him to the moon. But no, we get the.
They're doing.
Do I know him?
They're doing 2000s Vince stuff where like people would get over organically that he didn't plan to get over. Then he would get mad. That's like the Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona of it all.
Yes.
Where it's like, Matt Cardona, he's a lot. He could be a little annoying. He could be a little annoying out there these days. But like, he's right when he says I was the first person that got over with the internet.
Totally. Oh my God. I used to watch the Z Long Island Story every freaking week. It was my favorite thing.
Yes, it was so funny. Like he went there before the network, before their channel really had anything. Like he went there and went straight to the people, got over, and they not just ignored it, they punished him for it. They punished him, ruthless. They had him in a wheelchair, had Kane yeet him off the stage. They wanted him to look like a joke. Kayfabe injured him so he wouldn't be active in certain things. Like it was just they were pissed, and like that's how the Democrats are right now. They just want Mamdani to lose so badly. Why? They want to put Mamdani in a wheelchair and throw him into a dumpster.
Yes. Kayfabe? Is that what? But no, absolutely. I always talk about life in pro wrestling. I really think you're absolutely right. Like that's when the crowd. You know, we can ask all these. How do we? But then when it happens, fucking acknowledge it, man.
It's crazy, man. You know what we should acknowledge?
What's that?
There's a little bit of a hard pivot, but I'm surprised we've gone 52 minutes without touching on it.
Just do it, man.
This week was kind of ass.
I know where you're going. I don't even know, but I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going. It is a double music drop. First off, we got Chappell Roan's new single, "The Subway," is out. After a year of build of her playing it live and it not being available, it's finally out. And then we got 17 Hayley Williams singles, not a Hayley Williams album, which she's shared some fan talks about that. Hayley very wisely is letting Paramore fans and Hayley Williams fans and music people do the marketing and the discussion and the explanations for her, which I think is smart. She released them a little bit on her personal website, then took them away, then let the chatter settle for a couple days, then released them all, shared some fans talking about how it's not an album, it's just singles. They can be listened to in any order. And it is so that does give joy that we have great music to enjoy this weekend.
You know me. And Tully's right. Last dinner party, new music. They got the new song. This is the Killer speaking, which I absolutely love. No, man, you know me, Alden. I'm gonna say, as tough as it is, you find those fucking joys, man. And if you find joy today and getting a slice of pizza, that's your joy. If you're out there listening to us right now and you're having an absolute bad time, absolutely overwhelmed by the state of the world, absolutely frustrated, you got to give yourself some kind of joy this week. And Hayley Williams showing up with a promo code that, thank you, sir, you gave me, and a little website that looks like it's 2005 all over again, including a Winamp player, MySpace kind of graphics. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Renee Rapp. Eli mentions Renee Rapp here. And I don't have strong takes on Renee Rapp either way. But I do respect the theater kidness of her and of it all, her having been on Broadway. Yeah, Jared Tyler's new album is really good. I haven't listened to the new Clips album yet. Yeah, Maddie's right. The first two Hayley Williams albums do rule. She's the best. She's one of the most consistently great people.
Yeah. I have to really do more of a deep dive. Adam says, anytime with Ken and Alden, Winamp skin, come and win. I'd love that. I love this. This is a typo from Jared, but I love this. So Be It might be my song of the year, Marty Gunner. He called Maddie Marty Gunner, but now in my mind, Marty Gunner is Maddie's cool uncle.
Marty Gunner. Something about Maddie Gunner just has like youthful, punchy energy. Yeah. But Marty Gunner does sound like he sells insurance.
Yeah, but he's cool. Like he's the dude that was like probably pulled Maddie aside and said, "Here's a guitar, learn to play it. All right, I'm gonna go back to selling life insurance policies, but you go chase the dream that I couldn't." That's Marty Gunner to me.
That's fascinating. I would love to know more about Maddie Gunner's family. I feel like this is a incredible cast of characters.
Oh, with Maddie, yeah.
All British stereotypes, of course, that we make up here.
I've never questioned Maddie on his existence, you know. I know it's a shoot name. Excuse me, I know it's a work name. It's not a shoot name. But I prefer not to know. I prefer my view of Maddie Gunner is he is this war elf from the UK who comes down with some great hard metal music, and I just don't want to question beyond that. I just want to take him for what he is.
I didn't know until this exact moment of you saying that Maddie Gunner is a work name. I thought it was his shoot name. I thought his name was like Maddie. I'm telling you this as your friend. I thought that your name was like Matthew Gunner. Like I thought that was your actual name.
Just like our friend Jared the Darkest Jedi.
Well, Jared doesn't even spell Jared right, so it's like I'm not really concerned about whatever.
J-Rod. Yeah.
Jarod.
Next, you're going to tell me producer Steve has a last name. What?
Yeah,
what?
Steve. That is his last name.
Yeah.
His first name is producer.
Produce your staff.
But it makes me think, did you ever have, and I'm asking this kind of knowing the answer, but I can't remember exactly what it was.
A radio name? Yes, I did.
Yeah, I was going to say a shoot name, but I know your work name rather. But your wrestling character was like a completely different guy. But yeah, like when you got in, when you were going to be a screenwriter, when you got into radio, like were you using a pen name, on-air name? Like,
yeah. So when I started at a micro power station, aka a pirate radio station, so I had to hide my identity. So I was called Flying Freddy Fables, and then when I went over, and every once in a while, Mark Ellis will bring up the name and kind of poke fun at it. He and Makuga. Then I went over to Caber 95, and everyone there had radio names, you know, as you do, and I had to kind of. So I was like, well, some people know me as Flying Freddy Fables. So I was called Ken Fables for a while. Ken Fables was sports, and I was like, this is stupid. And I hate to say, for someone who has self-loathing and self-esteem and depression issues from jump, this was also the weird dichotomy in a brain like mine, and I'm not the only one, where I was like, no, I'm going to be great. I want people to remember me, not Ken Fables. So I fought for Ken Knapsack, and they allowed me to do it. And then in wrestling.
Yeah. Knapsack's unique enough, though, to carry an identity sort of like in and of itself. Like, I don't know another Knapsack. There are none.
There's like four in the world. Like, no, I'm the last. The name dies with me.
Yeah.
Which it will. Yeah. And then wrestling, my first wrestling name was Van Diemen, not demon as in the devil, but Van Diemen as the British magistrate they would send the criminals to Australia. Is it a high concept of a name? Yeah, it was. That was 6 matches.
Shooting trying to get the locker room to get on board with. Well, you see, it's a historical reference. You see, like
yeah. And so, like the first announcer when I come out, my guy, phenomenal Phil Lander, brings me out, and you know the audience doesn't know who the fuck I am, and they're like Van Diemen, and they're like, is this the child of the demon in Van Hammer? Like, who is it? And I was like, no, I'm a British magistrate that sends criminal. Okay, so then that's what I became. Tex Tunney, the last scion of the Great Southern Promoters, and formed my stable, the Territory Kings, which that was me. And there's still people, as with a lot of wrestling, Trips, Hunter, all that stuff. There's still people who only call me Tex.
That's so good. I got to say though, as much as I like Tex Tunney, I am stuck on Freddie Fables. That is just like Freddie
Fables.
Like I'm gonna make a pledge to you right now that if I ever write something that like actually gets to the point of being made, I'm putting a Freddie Fables in it, even if it's like,
please,
even if it's a background thing. Like it's just such a. I love alliterative like Stan Lee, Jack Kirby superhero names. Obviously, we just watched Reed Richards. There's Bruce Banner, Peter Parker, and Freddie Fables. You know, fits right in with those where it's like. Freddie Fables, you know, he's got super speed. You know, it just feels so larger than life. And those were dead by the time I got in. All the radio names were gone. You occasionally get one like I worked with a Letty B. You know, she's been Letty B her whole career. Like that, but she is Letty B.
One of my mentors was Freddie B. I still call hey Freddie B. You know, I know his real name is Fred, but yes, that's so funny.
Exactly. Like her name is Leticia Baltazar. And so it was like, well, we're not doing that. So you're Letty B. I worked with a guy named Toast. And when I worked with him after like a week of being there, I was like, Toast, why do they call you Toast? His real name's Greg. And he was like, well, when I started, I was an intern. And back then all the interns were breakfast food. And so we had omelet, we had bagel, we had me, I was toast, we had bacon. He's like, that was back when we could have like 5-6 interns before you guys ruined it for everybody. Because that was also the thing, is that my generation ruined it by asking for pay and rights.
Asking for pay. If you and I were doing morning radio in the 90s, we'd be like A-Trade and Flapjack or something like that. That'd be great.
Oh my god! The cheese.
You'd be like, "Hey, everybody, good morning. It's A-Trade." I'm like, "I'm Flapjack, flippity flop." Like it'd be horrible. It'd be horrible.
Did you ever watch? Did you watch Parks and Rec? I can't remember if you ever watched that.
I did not. I did not. I didn't take the dive. Sorry.
No, you're good. There are two characters in there. They're local Pawnee radio jocks that are Crazy Ira and the Douche, and they're like real recurring characters. And unfortunately, not exaggerated at all. That's how a lot of the
I kind of hate when people make fun of radio, because I ran into it fandom a couple weeks ago where they're like, this copy's very game showish in radio, and it's like, because you had me write it. But like so I get offended and I find it offensive, but it's also because it's so true. Because it's so true.
Every stereotype that I had about the business of broadcast and radio did prove itself to be true.
Well, it's all and he's an asshole, but he's an absolute asshole. But like Harry Shearer, anytime he does a radio character, especially like was it Wayne's World 2? It's so pitch perfect. It's so pitch perfect. I love watching that.
Yeah. Oh, Sean Rooms, right? The NPR spoof they had was "A Thought for Your Thoughts." God, yeah, that's true too. Yep. I really wish that a lot of it wasn't true, but it is. And there was never a chance of me having a name or anything like that. I was just Alden. When I started working there, they called me up by my whole, because I was the phone screener on mornings as like my on-air duty, and so they called me Alden the phone screener, but that was too long. So eventually I was like, you know, I don't want to overstep, but what if you guys just call me Alden? And they were like, huh, yeah, I guess we could do that. Like,
I would, you know what I would have called you? I would have called you Phoner. That would have been your name, Phoner. Let's get Phoner in here. He's our phone screener. Phoner, get in here. I have an acquaintance in the business. Met him when Mark and I were promoting comedy up in San Francisco. And he's Baby Huey still, because when he was an intern, he's a big boy, and they called him, "You're Baby Huey." And sometimes I don't even remember his real name. I'll see him on Facebook and be like, "Who is that?" "Oh, yeah, it's Baby Huey." Yeah, so it sticks with you, Phoner.
It does. Now Phoner's gonna happen.
But now this is the closest we have to radio.
By the way, if anybody has questions or anything, super chats, anything not necessary but encouraged, feel free to leave them. Obviously, we've just been riffing and doing. I mean, this is essentially what morning radio is. Is just having a couple notes, ignoring most of them, and then riffing for a lot of it.
I am sorry. I'm literally distracted. You know, I'm distracted because I'm going to a birthday party tomorrow night, and I got an update that I thought it was 2 weeks from now, but it turns out it's another party. Am I popular? Yes, but I'm relieved because I wanted to go have. I'm going to get tater tots tomorrow night, and I just
hell yeah.
Tully asks, did I ever know Ralph Garman? I did not. A friend of mine, Eddie Pence, is his co-host. Ralph Garman used to live in my neighborhood in Studio City, and I know a lot of people that knew him, but I have personally never met him, but I hear wonderful things, great reputation. So even in comedy, I haven't seen him. It's one of those things that like he's always like at Flappers the night I'm not there and that kind of stuff. So never run into him.
I've also never met Garman, but I've listened to a lot of them just in the Kevin Smith sphere because he's a part of all that with Babylon, and he's in a lot of Kevin's recent projects and things like that.
Right.
Garman does a hilarious impression. There's a lot of hilarious impressions, but his Adam West stuff has always made me very happy because he has such a love for that, and he is the reason why Adam West has a star on the Walk of Fame because he didn't get one while he was alive, and Garman pushed for it and campaigned for it and did all that.
Reputation is a good dude. Yeah, Reputation is a good dude, which is nice to see sometimes, right?
And not always the case in either business of broadcast and or comedy.
Wrestling, comedy, digital media, or radio.
It's
life. By the way, it's life, right? It's life. It's like when someone says, "Oh, it's so high school." Guess what? High school is life. It's a microcosm of our entire life, squished into 4 years. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But then, like I've told you, sometimes it gets confusing where sometimes those people who are like, they're really a joy to be around are not the ones you want to support. And the ones who are like, we need more of them. They're kind of a-holes. It's a tough world sometimes. Confusing world.
It doesn't always add up, unfortunately. And sometimes people, this is something that is just like hard to, I have a couple friends that are beefing right now, and I don't want to say their names because they are kind of in the space.
Can I cut you off in the ring like I'm Rhea Ripley?
Yeah.
Adam's jumping out, popping pizza. Adam, before you go, drop a link to your newsletter in here if you want, and we'll get you on the show. But enjoy your work. Let's promote and support. Anyways, I cut you off. You got two friends that are beefing. Are they in the chat? Are they in the chat now?
They're not in the chat. But there are two people that I'm friends with that they're in the Star Wars space and everything, and they're having a tiff that's been going on. And I eventually had to tell one of them, it is possible that neither of you is like in the wrong, and that you guys just are not liking each other anymore. Like it's like to your point about like sometimes it's the difficult one ends up being the one that has the stances that you need, and sometimes the inverse is true. I was telling them like sometimes two quote unquote good individuals like just don't mesh, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Like sometimes like sometimes you don't need to justify, I just don't really like them, and that's like they're not for me. And I know we've both encountered that. Like there's people that I've met in business and fandom, whatever, that I'm just like, they haven't done anything wrong, they rub me the wrong way, and I wouldn't choose them for your team. And like it's not, there's no bad blood, and that's hard, I think, for some people to grasp because they think like, well, I did all the right things, so why don't they like me? And I've had that. I've had moments of sensitivity too, where I'm like, but why do they? I've always been nice to them. It doesn't matter sometimes.
Yeah, there's some, and I think there's some truth that, like, I know I'm not for everyone, and that's sometimes hard to accept, right? Especially, I'm pretty confident myself as, kind of one of the good ones out there. I try to be. I'm not perfect, but I know there's I know it's it's iron and wine, oil and vinegar, whatever example you want to use. But I've been in those situations. I know what you mean. It's like with Schmodown, there's some wonderful folks that it never clicked, right? And I've had conversations with some folks of just like, you do reach a certain point in your life where you're just kind of like, you know what? Not everyone you meet or work with he needs to be your pal, and that's good. That's good. And for a guy like me who likes to make everyone feel welcome, that's, I gotta, because it comes off as insincere. If you're like, oh, we should let's follow each other, like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah, and I resist some of that insincerity sometimes too, where it just becomes like it just starts to feel a little transactional. And like, oh, like there's this thing, there's the system we have to abide to. Like we work together, we follow each other. And then what? I invite you on everything. There are people that I really love, that I love them in the way that I love them, and I don't necessarily want to work with them on things.
Right.
That's true too. Like I'm sure there are people that you love and think are funny, but like you're not going to invite them on the road. Like there's different tiers, there's different situations. It's people that you might invite to like a night at a club that it works for that, or you'll invite them on a panel show back when we had those, and then it works for that. Remember those? That was great. That was awesome.
Remember when I had employment? Yeah.
Remember when we let it all go away for no reason? Just no reason at all.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I asked this sincerely. Did we let it go away, or did it start to become passé or filled with too many assholes, or just too the same, and audience tastes change? I honestly don't know.
I'm not saying I'm not open to that line of thinking. Is not a disagreement. My question on top of that question would be, how is it possible? And I don't expect you to have the answer, just macro. How it doesn't make sense to me. How is it possible that the panel show died? And by panel show, we mean, for those of you listening that are maybe a little unclear on the phrasing that I'm using, anything like a Collider Movie Talk or an SJU, back when it used to be exactly what you think of at a panel. We, sitting at that desk, that half circle, whatever it was, and discussing things. How is it that died, but we also experienced the skyrocketing of everybody sitting on their couch doing one? So like, would Movie Talk have lived if we ditched the desk and put in couches? And because like that's all thriving. So it's like, what happened? Like I don't understand how both of those things coincided.
Oh, you're talking about just like with podcasts and stuff. Like now you see,
I just mean like
Call Me Daddy or all stuff. Like
like all the morons that have exploded. The people like that, like Alex Cooper, I want to say her name is.
Yeah, Alex Cooper. I'm not
including her in the morons.
We're not in that category. Yeah, but like
just like people that are huge, or like even we're seeing it now with like some comedians have them, like Stavros Halkias' podcast, or our friend Jen Sturger's podcast, like
with Eddie, Bobby Lee's,
are all happening.
All of
Bobby Lee's. So did the panel show just need to change its physical look to survive?
I think in a weird way, yes. And I was in part, but in a weird way, yes. I think, and it's something I struggle with. I am a host. I'm a broadcaster, and from a different era, in the sense of, and I don't say this is a good thing. And so so's Mark Ellis, by the way. Shows like that, the panel shows, there was pushback. The numbers were going down. And there's a number of reasons I don't understand, but some of it for me, it was like, this is not sincere to us anymore. It feels distant. It feels like for experts on a desk. It feels like nightly news. And we want something more organic. And so it started to change. However, I was around, especially even at like Screen Junkies, after I'd left, they got rid of the desk for a while, and they were like, let's stand at podiums. I just was I helped put together movie fights 2 weeks ago on Superman. They got rid of the desk. They put them all in director chairs, and like, but the audiences of those shows don't like those changes. And we ran into that too, where we would start to change some things to maybe adapt to what was going on, and then there was pushback, and it was confusing. So I don't know. But then you see where I think your point is right, where it seems more sincere, casual.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and like the approach of the host is something that I think gets worked out even separately. But I just mean like, it feels like whether they let it die, whatever, but like I'm using Mark Ellis as an example just because he's someone that people know and he hosted the show. But like a Movie Talk right now hosted by someone like Mark, if Mark had like a couch or whatever, then if he's sitting in a chair, then there's like a love seat on the side with two guests or whatever, and we do those same cut back and forth with the switcher like that. Like it just feels like it was right there. Like these panel shows laid the groundwork for what we have now, but then somehow got replaced by them instead of existing alongside them. And
but do you remember Film HQ? Do you remember Film HQ?
Vaguely.
So it was I think it was behind a paywall. Was when everyone was going to paywalls, including us on screen. It was when I was doing Screen Junkies Plus. Like Collider signed a deal with the Comic-Con people, and they launched Film HQ. And it was movie talk on couches. It literally was, and it did. Now I don't think it didn't work because of just the format or the host or anything but I think it was the paywall, but it didn't catch on. It didn't keep going, right? They didn't say, well, let's take the style elsewhere.
You know what they should have done? Should have given them tiny microphones and absolutely no broadcasting presence, and they should hold their headphone wires like this.
Yeah, but
they should do 30 jump cuts and
it's
green screen themselves onto the poster of the movie.
Yeah, I think it's the sign of the times, for better or worse. It's the speed moves up. That the insincerity is found in places that I think are actually rather sincere or professional. But again, the audience will sometimes dictate. And it doesn't always make sense. You raise an excellent point. I've never thought of it that way. Of like the panel show went away, the couch show took its place, even though the only difference is the furniture. The only difference is the furniture.
That's it. Like, what is the difference? There's no formatting you can adjust, but like that's producerial. Like you change that on the day if you need to. It's just fascinating that like, is it because I think this is part of it too, is that podcasting sort of came in waves, right? Like there was the OG wave where it was like extremely indie, and the only big names that were getting into it were still not even like a list. It was like it was Marin, it was Kevin Smith, it was pretty crazy Rogan, or quietly crazy, I guess. Maybe he was always that way. And that were all there. It was young upstart producers like 20-something-year-old Kenneth Plume that were out there helping build this little ecosystem, right? And then it takes off, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's viable. And there's the boom that digital media experienced in the 2010s. That's where you come in, and everybody else is like, oh, this is a thing that can happen. We should have listened to the Schmoes. They can actually do this thing. And then now we're in this third wave of it where everybody has caught on to the first two, and the celebrity presence has made it impossible for most people to catch on. It's flattened a lot of stuff. It's corporatized it to the nth degree, where it's like, you used to be able to say like, okay, I have the show, I'm going to grow it, then I'll have the power to like book certain things. Now that they have been legitimized, it's impossible for anyone that's not a celebrity to book most guests. It's impossible for the ad money to be distributed the same. It's like, it gets made fun of sometimes, like podcasting is like where the failed celebs go, but that's not even the case anymore. Now it's all celebs.
Not anymore. Yeah.
There was an era where it was a brief one. Yeah, that doesn't even count as a full wave.
It's like movie stars going to TV at one point. Like, oh dear God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now it's like, so like I thought that I don't enjoy some of them. Like Amy Poehler's got hers. It's great so far. Had some great conversations on there. Katie Sackhoff's got hers, and she gets actors from that sphere of like TV people, genre people. But it's like, okay, well, if Katie Sackhoff's getting all the Mandalorian people, then like, how is anyone else supposed to get them? And that affects me, and it has affected me in the past. And it just changed everything. Like we didn't realize how quickly this was going to move in 15 years. And now I don't know what it looks like on the other side. I really don't.
Yeah, some good stuff in your chat. Tully, I think it's all topics and conversations are structured, and sometimes just the appearance of even there being structure, see people are resistant. I do like Will's takes here. I just don't think the movie talk shows are good anymore. I even used to like the shows that are still by the same people but in different places. Feels just a rundown of the same topics every day. How many times can you talk about the Superman box office numbers? And I do agree
with that.
That's why my interest started to wane on some of that too. And it was we all had less passion for it because it was just like teaser poster release. That's our main topic today. What do you think about the poster? It's yay! He's got a cape on it. Yay! Great! Like the grind of doing it daily just made it less important, I think, too.
Yeah, and ultimately, it is. Yeah, it's about the topic selection, and it's like, okay, you could get deeper and weirder and like do cooler things with it, but as you've experienced in the Star Wars sphere, you do something that's a little bit more thoughtful with more depth, that is more personal, requires a specific angle, and you are immediately like nerfing yourself to a certain degree. Like you're limiting sort of what you can go for. So it's like you either become like base and churn out garbage and hope that you can get like a glimmer of the the mainstream of it all, or you lean into what you have, whatever that is, and maybe people aren't interested in that, because it's like the teaser poster is going to get the clicks of that day. It's like everybody, like you're reverse engineering shows. You're not actually making shows that you want to make. You're taking what will probably be the viral point of the day and working backwards into producing, instead of what do our hosts have something to say? Oh, that's funny. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, you never told that story before on air, and making a show out of it, which is what I used to enjoy. Like my favorite part of working at iHeart was the pre and post show meetings of kicking around the show. Oh, we could do this bit on Thursday. We could do that bit on Friday. Oh, we have this phoner here. This person's coming from the improv. I like actual producing. One of our walls in the office was painted with that blackboard paint that you can put chalk on and stuff. And like, I like actually putting it together, and that's just not a thing anymore. Which pains me. It pains me deeply that now it's just like, well, this is going to be and you see it too with like the cosplay cottage industry that has popped up of like, I'm not saying that people, I want to be clear, I'm not trying to gatekeep and say that people are insincere with their fandom, but it is interesting, at least interesting, that all of the conventionally attractive men and women and non-binary people that do that for a living all just cosplay in waves and are suddenly interested, right? Like over the past week, suddenly every beautiful woman on the internet, their favorite character was Sue Storm over the past week. And I'm sure for some of them that's true, but it's also looking at a movie release calendar with your assistant and them being like, well, Fantastic Four hits here, so we got to make sure that we order that Sue cosplay and get that blonde wig ready because it's going to hit. And it's like, I would love to optimistically believe that they all did find a joy in Sue. Great character. But I also have been in the industry, and I know that that's not the case for all of them. I don't know who's sincere and who's not, because you can't tell that through a photo. But it's just like, it's like, who would you like to cosplay? It's like they probably don't get to do the ones that they would want to do all the time, and it seems like a nothing issue, but it's again, it's the commercialization of every single thing. Everything has to be a revenue stream. Everything has to be, you're constantly on. Every hobby's a thing, and we're not going to escape that. And that is why we need Mamdani to be the mayor of New York, because if we could tax these fuckers, then maybe people will be able to have hobbies that are not monetized for a change.
I love it.
I wish I was someone that liked gardening. You know what I mean?
I like the concept of gardening. I like pretending I do. I love getting gardening equipment.
I like the concept of it too.
Yeah, I have a garage full of backhoes, little rakes with like spikes on. I have all that stuff. I love it. I just can't get into it.
Ken Napsar, garage full of hose.
There you go. There you go. There's a good reference. Farming, really? A man of your talents? Eli says this: I will harp on the day to the day I die. Don't die, Eli. The best Star Wars podcast episodes are topic episodes. They are. They're just not the getters. They're not the getters. I could Force Center are numbers. News, topic, book reviews. The book review ones were so comically low That's why we cut them, and it gets, we don't love doing the Star Wars news. You can sometimes tell we're like, here we go again, but we try to spin them off into conversations.
You guys did. I forgot. I was gonna text you about it. I forgot. You guys did a Star Wars news a couple weeks ago. That was like Rogue One behind the scenes. Like it was just like new stories about things we've been talking about for a long time.
Yep.
And it felt like Force Center from like 2017 came
Literally.
back for an episode. And I was like, how is this possible? It wasn't your fault, obviously, but it was just like, how are we still doing this as a news cycle? And I was just like, man, what a flashback. I was happy back then. Like, it's crazy. This was I used to throw on Force Center with my beautiful partner and my play. I think the economy was like not great, but still not horrible. Life had promise.
Right.
Crazy.
Let's go eat some lunch and then do probably some Game of Thrones conversations. We'll come out on Cast Relay Talk. You'll look for those, won't you all, please, in the next week or two. But we did it. We got through this episode, Alden, on a busy week, and I'm no longer worried about you. Okay.
And now I'm awake. Now
you're awake. Now it's time for
throughout this hour and a half. I'm energized now.
We'll see you next time on Anytime with Ken and Alden. Bye.